Sweetheart, I want to talk to you. Not just in passing, not in a rushed moment between busy hours, not in the half-distracted way people speak when they assume there will always be more time, but in the realest, deepest, most honest way a heart can open to another heart, because there are things inside me that deserve to be said slowly, clearly, and with intention, and you deserve to hear them with the same tenderness with which I feel them. I want to tell you that loving you has never been about perfection, it has been about presence, about choosing you in the quiet moments and in the loud ones, about waking up each day and feeling grateful that out of all the souls in this world, mine feels safest when it is near yours, even if that nearness is measured in miles, because you have become more than just a person in my life. You have become the place where my fears soften, where my dreams feel possible, where my doubts lose their sharp edges, and I need you to understand that when I say I care about you, I mean I care about your growth, your peace, your ambitions, your healing, your confidence, your happiness, and the version of you that you are still becoming, sweetheart. Life will test us, it will stretch us in ways we never expected, it will bring days that feel heavy and nights that feel long, but I want you to remember something powerful. You are stronger than every storm that tries to convince you otherwise. You are braver than the voice that whispers you are not enough, you are wiser than your past mistakes, and you are worthy of a future that feels like sunshine after rain, and I want to be the person who reminds you of that when you forget, the one who looks into your eyes and sees not just who you are today but the incredible potential unfolding within you, because I believe in you in a way that is steady, not loud but constant, not dramatic but deeply rooted. I want to talk to you about dreams, about the kind that keep you awake at night not out of fear but out of excitement, the kind that make your heart beat faster because you can almost see them becoming real, and I want you to chase them without apology. Without shrinking yourself to make others comfortable, without doubting that you deserve success and fulfillment, because sweetheart, the world needs what you carry inside you, it needs your kindness, your ideas, your passion, your resilience, and I promise you that I will never be the one who tells you to be smaller, I will always encourage you to expand, to rise, to step into rooms with confidence, to speak your truth with courage, to build the life you imagine even if it takes time and patience and 1,000 small steps. I want to tell you that commitment is not about grand speeches, it is about consistency, about showing up even on ordinary days, about choosing love when it is simple and when it requires effort. And I am here not because it is easy but because it is meaningful, because what we share is worth nurturing, worth protecting, worth growing slowly and intentionally, and I don't want you to ever feel alone in your battles, because your struggles are not burdens to me, they are opportunities for me to stand beside you, to listen, to understand, to support without judgment, to hold space for your emotions without trying to silence them. Sweetheart, there will be moments when you doubt yourself. When you look in the mirror and focus on flaws instead of strength, when you compare your journey to others and feel behind, but I want you to pause in those moments and hear my voice reminding you that your path is uniquely yours. That timing is not a race, that growth is not always visible but always happening, and that the qualities you underestimate in yourself are often the ones that shine the brightest to those who truly see you, and I see you, not just the confident version but the vulnerable one, not just the smiling one but the one who worries quietly, and every part of you matters to me. I want to talk to you about fear. Not to let it control us but to acknowledge it, because fear can either build walls or build courage depending on how we face it, and I want us to face it together, to turn uncertainty into adventure, to turn challenges into lessons, to turn setbacks into stepping stones, because nothing worthwhile grows without patience and persistence. And if there are days when you feel tired of trying, I will remind you why you started, I will remind you of your strength, I will remind you that temporary exhaustion does not define your permanent potential, sweetheart. I also want to say that love is not about losing yourself in someone else, it is about becoming more yourself while walking beside another, and I never want you to dim your light for me. I want you to shine so brightly that the world notices. I want you to feel empowered in this connection, not restricted, inspired, not limited, because real love motivates, it uplifts, it strengthens, it gives wings instead of chains, and I hope that being with me feels like gaining freedom rather than losing it. I want to talk to you about the future, not in a way that pressures or overwhelms but in a way that excites and inspires, because when I think about tomorrow, I don't just see days passing, I see moments being created, memories being built, laughter filling rooms, quiet evenings where comfort replaces chaos, goals being achieved side by side. And I want us to build something steady and meaningful. Something that can withstand misunderstandings and grow stronger through communication, something rooted in trust, respect, and unwavering support. Sweetheart, you deserve a love that speaks life into you, that celebrates your victories loudly and stands firm during your defeats, that believes in your comeback even before you do. And I promise to always choose words that heal rather than harm, to choose understanding over ego, to choose growth over stubbornness, because we are not perfect, but we can be intentional, and intention makes all the difference. I want you to know that your past does not scare me, your scars do not push me away, your flaws do not make you less lovable, because everyone carries history, everyone carries lessons. And what matters is the direction we choose moving forward, and I choose forward. With you, I choose progress, I choose healing, I choose building something that reflects maturity and depth rather than impulse and immaturity. Sweetheart, I also want to remind you to take care of yourself. To rest when you are tired, to drink water, to protect your peace, to set boundaries without guilt, to say no when you need to prioritize your mental and emotional health, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, and your well-being matters more than any external expectation. And if ever you feel overwhelmed by the world's noise, come back to the simplicity of us, to conversations where you can breathe, to moments where you can just be without performing or pretending. I want to talk to you about resilience, because life will not always follow our plans, but detours often lead to discoveries, and failures often redirect us to better opportunities, and I want you to trust that even when things do not go as expected, They are still shaping you into the person you are meant to become, and I will stand with you through the uncertainty, reminding you that temporary setbacks do not cancel permanent purpose. Sweetheart, there is something powerful about two people choosing each other not out of dependency but out of desire, not because they cannot stand alone but because they want to walk together, and that is what I feel with you. A conscious choice. A daily decision, a willingness to invest time and energy into something meaningful, and I do not take that lightly. I treasure it, I nurture it, I protect it. I want you to feel safe expressing your dreams to me, even the ones that seem unrealistic. Because every great achievement once sounded impossible, and I would rather encourage you to try and fail than to never try at all, because regret is heavier than risk, and growth requires courage, and you have that courage within you even if you sometimes forget. Sweetheart, please remember that you are not defined by one bad day, one mistake, one rejection, or one disappointment. You are defined by your persistence, your heart, your effort, your willingness to keep moving forward despite obstacles, and I admire that about you more than you know. I admire your strength, your determination, your quiet battles that no one else sees, and I want to be the person who recognizes those invisible victories. I want to talk to you about gratitude, about appreciating the small things, the morning messages, the shared laughter, the comfort of knowing someone is thinking about you, the warmth of emotional closeness, because life is built in these small moments, and if we protect them, nurture them, and stay present within them, they become the foundation of something extraordinary. Sweetheart, my intention is simple but powerful. To love you in a way that inspires you to love yourself more, to support you in a way that strengthens your independence, to stand beside you in a way that amplifies your courage, and to communicate with you in a way that builds trust instead of confusion, and if ever there is misunderstanding, let us choose conversation over silence, clarity over assumption, patience over reaction, because what we are building deserves effort. I want to end this not with a dramatic promise but with a steady one. I am here, not just for the highlights but for the process, not just for the easy days but for the challenging ones, not just for who you are now but for who you are becoming. And sweetheart, as long as we continue choosing growth, honesty, kindness, and resilience, there is nothing we cannot face together, because love combined with determination becomes unstoppable, and I believe in us, I believe in you, and I believe that this conversation is not just words but the beginning of even deeper understanding, stronger connection, and a future shaped by courage, faith, and unwavering support. That I want to talk to you. Not in a rushed way, not in between distractions, not through half-hearted words sent in a hurry, but in the deepest, calmest, most honest way my heart knows how, because sometimes love deserves a pause, it deserves a moment where everything else fades and only truth remains, and right now that truth is you, and the way you have quietly become the most important part of my world, you and the way your presence feels like strength when I am weak, like light when I am uncertain, like home when everything else feels unfamiliar. And I don't want this to be just another sweet message that you read and smile at for a second. I want this to be something you feel in your chest, something that wraps around you when you doubt yourself, something that reminds you who you are and what you mean to me, because you deserve words that carry weight, words that carry intention, words that are spoken with clarity and purpose. And if I could sit in front of you right now, I would hold your hands, look into your eyes, and tell you slowly that you are stronger than you realize, braver than you believe, and more capable than the fears that sometimes whisper lies into your mind. I see the way you fight battles you never talk about. I see the way you push forward even when you're tired. I see the way you care deeply even when it costs you energy. And I need you to understand that those quiet strengths are what make you extraordinary, not perfection, not flawlessness, not constant happiness, but resilience, heart, effort, the willingness to try again even when things don't go as planned. Sweetheart, life is not always gentle. It does not always reward us immediately for our patience. Sometimes it tests us, stretches us, forces us to grow in ways that feel uncomfortable. But growth is proof that you are not stuck. Growth is proof that you are evolving, and I don't ever want you to measure your worth by temporary setbacks or by comparisons with other people who are walking completely different paths. Your journey is yours, uniquely shaped, uniquely timed, uniquely beautiful, and even on days when you feel behind or uncertain, you are exactly where you need to be to become who you are meant to become. And I believe in your future with a kind of certainty that doesn't shake. I believe in your dreams even when you are tired of chasing them. I believe in your potential even when you question it, because I have seen the fire in you, the ambition, the kindness, the depth of your heart, and those things are not accidental, they are gifts, and the world needs what you carry inside you, your ideas, your love, your creativity, your compassion, your determination. All of it matters, and I want you to promise yourself something today. Promise yourself that you will not shrink to fit into spaces that do not appreciate you. Promise yourself that you will not dim your light just because someone else is uncomfortable with your brightness. Promise yourself that you will continue to grow even if it means outgrowing environments, habits, or fears that once felt familiar, because staying small to stay comfortable is not the life you were created for. You were created for expansion, for impact, for a life that feels aligned with your heart. And yes, there will be challenges, there will be moments when you feel misunderstood, moments when you feel exhausted, moments when you question whether it's worth it, but in those moments I want you to remember this conversation. Remember that someone sees you clearly and still chooses you, still believes in you, still stands beside you in spirit even when distance or circumstances try to create space, because love is not just about romance or sweet words, it is about support, about standing steady when storms try to shake confidence, about reminding each other of our strength when we temporarily forget it. Sweetheart, you are not alone in your dreams. You are not alone in your fears, you are not alone in your growth. And you never have to pretend to be stronger than you feel around me, because vulnerability is not weakness, it is courage, it is honesty, it is the foundation of something real, and I want what we have to be real. Not perfect, not flawless, but real, built on trust, encouragement, and the decision to choose each other again and again, even on ordinary days, even on difficult days, especially on days when motivation feels low, because commitment is not a feeling that appears only when everything is easy. It is a choice we make when things require effort, and I am choosing you with awareness, with intention, with hope for everything we can build together. I imagine a future where we both chase our goals fiercely, where we celebrate each other's wins loudly, where we sit together after long days and talk about everything and nothing, where we remind each other that no dream is too big when two hearts are determined. And I want you to see yourself the way I see you, not through a lens of doubt, but through a lens of possibility. I see someone who can turn pain into wisdom, who can turn setbacks into stepping stones, who can turn ordinary days into meaningful ones just by showing up with authenticity. And if there are parts of your past that still weigh on you, I want you to know that your past does not define your future. It informs it, it teaches you, it strengthens you, but it does not limit you unless you let it. You are allowed to evolve beyond old versions of yourself. You are allowed to rewrite your narrative. You are allowed to forgive yourself for mistakes made when you knew less than you know now. Growth requires grace, and I hope you offer yourself the same compassion you so easily give to others, because you deserve that kindness too, sweetheart. Talk to me about your fears, talk to me about your wildest dreams, talk to me about the things you rarely say out loud, because your thoughts matter, your voice matters, your feelings matter, and I don't just want the polished parts of you, I want the real parts, the messy thoughts, the ambitious plans, the quiet insecurities, the bold ideas. All of it, because loving someone means embracing their whole story, not just the highlights, and as you continue moving forward in life, remember that progress is not always loud, sometimes it is subtle. Sometimes it is simply choosing not to give up, sometimes it is choosing to try again tomorrow. Sometimes it is choosing to believe that better days are possible even when today feels heavy, and that belief, that quiet hope, is powerful. It is the seed of every success story, every transformation, every breakthrough, and I see that seed in you. I see potential blooming even when you don't notice it. And I am proud of you not only for your achievements but for your effort, for your heart, for your resilience, and I want you to carry this message with you long after you finish reading it. Carry it into your difficult mornings, carry it into your ambitious plans, carry it into moments of doubt. And let it remind you that you are loved deeply, believed in completely, and capable beyond measure. And as I say all of this, understand that this is not just about motivation, it is about partnership, about walking side by side toward a future that reflects both our dreams, about building something rooted in respect and inspiration, about choosing growth over fear, courage over comfort, faith over doubt, and sweetheart, whenever you feel unsure, whenever the world feels loud and overwhelming, come back to this truth. You are enough, you are evolving, you are powerful in ways you have not fully discovered yet, and I am here, cheering for you, believing in you, loving you not only for who you are today but for who you are becoming. Because your journey is beautiful, your heart is rare, and this message, every word of it, is simply my way of saying that you matter more than you know, and I am grateful every day that I get to call you mine.